Hello, everyone. Okay, so if you were seeing me a few minutes ago, I'm so sorry. I was having technical difficulties. So, welcome. It is, what's today? Tuesday, and it is book club night. Yes. So, what book are we reading? We are reading the High Five Habit. Yes. So we're going to talk about chapter 1 and chapter 2. So if you didn't start to read your book yet, don't stress, no worries. And if you did, I want to hear what were some of your takeaways from the first two chapters. And I'll talk about some of mine, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So comment. If you're watching the replay, please comment so we can all just get together around this amazing book by Mel Robbins. Yes. I don't know. Oh, man, it has been a long day. All righty. So I will start with it felt good to be able to know that there are so many other people with insecurities like myself. I when you hear, like, she is a very successful motivator speaker, and when she talked about her bathroom, where this all came from when she was looking at herself in the mirror, I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone. I'm not on an island by myself. So many of us feel the same way. Our brains just go into this automatic criticize ourselves. It is crazy, isn't it? Because, we don't do that with our friends, our family, strangers. No, we're always lifting people up, aren't we? But yet ourselves, we're so tough on ourselves. So I love the idea of giving ourselves a high five in the mirror every morning. So, yes, I've started. If you've started, please comment. Let me know what you thought. Like, I know my first time doing it was kind of like a soft high five because it felt odd. It really did. But, I did it and I was like, oh, I got it. And then I went high five to myself in the mirror and I was like, you go, girl. So, it was her. I mean, very interesting. I love the story about how she talks about her marathon run and how, everybody's cheering her on, and that cheering on is what really got her to get, was it 26 miles she did, how she got to the finishing line. But, we don't cheer our own selves on. It's like, we were thinking about that. Okay, when I get to this point, yay, that's my, whatever my goal is, yay, then I'm going to celebrate. No, celebrate you now, every single day. So I took a bunch of notes when I was reading. So I want to refer to my notes if you don't mind. So just give me one little second. Let's peek. Meanwhile, while I'm looking at my notes, I would love to hear your takeaways and some of your notes. I love this one, where, we spend our whole life waiting for someone to lift us up. And, I don't know about you, but have you been there? You're really having a tough day and you're like, you come home and maybe you're looking to your spouse, to your significant other, just to lift you up. It's been a rough day. I just need some encouraging words. But why? Why do I have to look to my spouse for that? I can lift me up. And that's a different thought, isn't it? We really don't program our brains to think that way, do we? But I loved it. I love that whole idea where she talks about that. Let me just see some other key takeaways. Yeah, she's right here. She talks about how we feel silly sometimes in the mirror doing that. How about, oh my goodness, how about when she talked about when she took the picture of herself giving herself a high five and then posted that on Facebook and really like started that whole I'm going to call it chain reaction of people giving themselves a high five. As a matter of fact, if you've done it, take a picture of yourself giving yourself a high five, post it on your Facebook page, post it, if we're friends, feel free, post it in mine. If someone invited you to this YouTube, post it in their Facebook. But I mean, just imagine we could start start that chain reaction. Doesn't it feel good? I mean, if you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend you giving yourself that high five every morning, right? So let me just see. And I know she talked about consistency. Let me just see here. Now, truth be told, I got a little bit past the first two chapters, so that might have been in another chapter, okay? Here, she talks about your brain has this default setting, and it's not our friend, and she's so right. Oh my goodness. The other day I was clothing shopping, and I'm struggling with my body appearance, my weight. And I swear to God, I'm on myself. Believe it or not, I am on myself every single day. Something's running negative through my brain. And I think just from that, I'm like, I think I'm just gaining weight just because I'm thinking about it. Seriously. So I want to turn that around. I want to give myself that high five in the morning. I want to be happy with me, who I am, where I'm at right now in life. So what are you happy about right now, where you're at? What are you proud of for yourself? Think about it, because there's so many things to be proud of. You got up in the morning, right? You're watching this. You're reading a book to improve yourself. Really, so many things to be proud of. So drop comments. Let me know. I think I'm trying to think back here. I'm looking in my notes. Yes. Yeah, I think I pretty much touched on everything. So what we're going to do, we're going to do another book club. I believe it's on April 30th, okay? But meanwhile, from now till then, if you haven't read the first two chapters, by all means, read them. And then Thursday, April 30th, I think it's a Thursday. It's April 30th. I know. Can you believe I am such a squirrel moment? Anyway, we'll read the next two chapters. So we'll read chapter 3 and chapter 4. But meanwhile, if you haven't read the first two, read them. If you haven't given yourself that high five in the mirror, the first one, make sure you do that, okay? And then consistently do it every single day, okay? High five. And then I like to end mine with, you got this, girl. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of our book club events. All right. I am very proud of you. Okay. Tell yourself that too. Look yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself, I'm very proud of you. Okay. And give yourself that high five. And thank you so much for joining. And I hope you have a beautiful week. Look for us on the 30th. Bye.